There are times when you deserve more than a coffee break. So make a cup of Mellow Birds. You'll find its smooth, mellow flavor turns an ordinary coffee break into a mellow moment. Mellow Birds for mellow moments.
Every day should have some.
Welcome to Mellow Moments. First thing we're going to do, we're going to get our cup of Mellow Birds and take our first sip of the day. Very mild, like having a hug in a mug. So, every day I'm going to do one of these shows, Mellow Moments, talking about mild and mellow things. And I was partly inspired to do this by the idea of Terry Wogan, specifically towards the twilight of his career, when he was presenting Points of View on BBC Two. I loved watching Points of View. In fact, let's have a little watch of some of what I'm talking about here with Terry Wogan on Points of View. Typical scene. So there he is. There's Terry Wogan in his tank top, and I mean, he'd often be down in the bowels of Auntie, and there was something very cozy about, it'd typically be on a Sunday or something like that, and Points of View would come on, and I kind of liked the. There was a combination of factors that made me like this show. The kind of comfort of Wogan, coupled with the general complaining of the British of the British public, and I don't know why, but there's something I enjoyed about this, and I found this clip basically. In fact, I edited it down, so let me play that one. Of just a little clip of people moaning about David Dimbleby, his coverage on the Jubilee, and something about it made me think, I think I want to do a Mellow Moment show. Let me show you Wogan a second.
A party like it since my 40th last year. Now, hundreds of you, while sharing these views, felt the coverage was let down by David Dimbleby, who provided the commentary. Well, Ken, hold nothing back. Tell us what you really thought.
Regarding the Dimbleby commentary, several adjectives spring to mind.
Hold hard, Ken. This is family viewing.
Vacuous, inane, patronising, ignorant, arrogant, inappropriate, condescending and extraordinarily toe-curling would best describe both his attitude, words and observations.
May I be first in line to give Dimbleby a slap? I may not be the sharpest tool in the box, and admittedly some of the parade was rather obscure to say the least, but God, he was hard going.
What arrogance! David Dimbleby's attitude during the Jubilee processions was disgraceful. He clearly didn't like the processions and ridiculed his guests about it. This was a one-off occasion, and he did his best to spoil it for the viewers.
I thought that the BBC had done away with the cumbersome hot air-filled balloon as its flagship. How surprised I was to find it alive and well and sitting in the commentary box in London.
Yeah, what scathing wit from Michael Crutch, and in fact, I would quite like to see some of the David Dimbleby coverage. So let me get up the longer version, and we can watch some of the what inspired that cavalcade of complaints from the British public back in 2002. I actually went to the Queen's Jubilee. I remember I went down there, and I didn't get a ticket to go inside where Brian May was playing the guitar on Buckingham Palace. I was out with all the plebs in the field, and I mean, I've told this story before, but I remember that there was giant screens there, giant screens. This was in 2002. I was still a student, and I went down there. You know, I took a little Union Jack flag, and I went there. I think I was. I wasn't alone. I was with somebody, and we went down there, and at a certain time, everybody stopped, and the EastEnders music played on the giant screens, and literally everybody stopped for half an hour and just sat and watched EastEnders together. It was one of the most surreal experiences I can recall. But there was also something I quite liked about it. You know, it was a mellow moment, if you want to put it that way. But let's have a look at some of Dimblebee's snarky comments during the Jubilee. I'm kind of interested to see his, what inspired the kind of vitriol from Michael Crutch and Neil Atwell. So let's have a look, because we've been watching Dimbleby on the Oceans Apart. So I feel like these are the characters that the BBC should be all about, the Wogans and the Dimblebees and so on. Unfortunately, well, let's keep politics out of things, shall we? Let's listen to Dimblebee's snark during the Queen's Jubilee.
Box in London.
You may slightly wonder about the start of this parade with the Automobile Association there. I wonder a bit about it. Now, search me where they fit in. Is that your lot there dancing or not? No, that's something else. What does that represent, do you think? Completely new. Well, the 50s are making rather slow progress. What it's all about. They're actually going at a crawl. Is that how we moved in the 50s? She looks a bit dreary. She's a bit bored with life. Anyway, there they go, roaring down. What a terrific sight. Ah, that's better. Why is Rocky Horror on the science float?
Well, on each of the theme floats features a musical. On the...
Oh, so you're against science, are you? I can see the other rings are there. Can you identify the others?
You're testing me.
I am testing. You chose them.
Yes.
Off with his head is what I say.
I might just carry on watching this episode of Points of View. What do we reckon? Let's carry on watching.
It took a while and a lot of hunting, but I did manage to find a positive email.
David Dimbleby as the main presenter was a most excellent choice. I was particularly amused by his quick-witted commentary.
Now, lots of you wanted to know if the concerts will be available on...
I should mention that this Mellow Birds is, I'm at the midway mark now. And, when I'm smoking cigars, they say that the middle of the cigar, the second third, is, the heaven. Sometimes they call it the heaven. And at the moment, I'm in mellow heaven. This middle part of the mug, it's really coming into its own now. It's like floating on clouds and marshmallows.
Video, and the answer is yes. The CD is released on the 24th, and the VHS and DVD will be released on July the 1st. So, from the Jubilee Junket to the Queen's Kingdom, a programme which many of you really enjoyed.
I'm writing to say a huge thank you for A Queen's Kingdom. It was a stunning and fascinating 90 minutes. Sometimes funny, sometimes touching, but constantly thought-provoking. The aerial views and time-lapse animations were stunning.
See, I love the sight of old men in flat caps. This makes me happy.
Wasn't that wonderful? Well, now, let's head for the East End, as we have a sad tale of a fashion faux pas from Lorna Tyrrell.
I realise that you're trying to make EastEnders as realistic as possible, but can you please refrain from buying Sonia's clothes from high street shops? I was shocked and quite frankly embarrassed to see Sonia in a cardigan that I had recently purchased from a well-known store. Now, not only am I the laughing stock of my friends, but I've wasted £35 on a top that I can never wear again. Please, keep them in the nondescript baggy tops and trousers to which they are obviously accustomed.
Well, I'm no fashion expert, but that top looks dreadful, Lorna. It's your own fault. Now, as this is your last chance to ask any pertinent questions, and get an answer, hopefully, what's been troubling you?
I believe that Band of Brothers is the best drama I've ever seen the BBC produce. Can you tell me when and where I can purchase the videos?
Yes, they're set for release in late October or early November. Just in time for the Christmas stockings, I suspect. Next.
All I want to know is how do you apply to be on Friends Like These?
Piece of cake. And the present series is full, so don't bother now, but they will be auditioning at the end of the year for the next series, so keep checking their website,
This Mellow Birds tastes like the sound of Wogan's comforting, avuncular voice. Oh, it's amazing. I love it.
www.bbc.co.uk/friends like these. One more, then we'll move on.
Please could you send me the name of the song that was played during the World Cup 2002 advert?
What's this? Well, it's Kashmir by Led Zeppelin on their album Physical Graffiti. Now, this week sees not just our Auf Wiedersehen bet, but the programme too. The final episode went out on Sunday evening, and you've loved it.
When I first heard that the show was being revived, I was slightly worried that it wouldn't work. But thankfully, it's turned out to be even better than the original. It is without doubt the best show of the year so far, with brilliantly funny script and superb cast. Well done, BBC, for a job well done.
Thank you for Auf Wiedersehen, Pet. Never having watched the original, too young, it's all new to me, and I like what I see.
Now, apparently, there was a bad electrical storm in the northeast which affected reception, and lots of you have been in touch because you missed the last 15 minutes of the programme. Well, we can't show all of that. But here's a magic moment from the boys.
I put an ad on the internet last night. Bridge builders seek new challenges. Travel no object.
Hey, I wonder where the Tyne Bridge would look good.
It's pretty good where it is.
Aye. Mind you, after we've paid off all the costs and the Choconos are taking their whack, we're not exactly going to be millionaires, are we?
Well, better off than what we were. I mean, we'll still get a drink with it at the end of the day. I mean, we went into it lying with pockets, turn things round, make a killing, but, well, in the end, it wasn't about the money.
Loving the original programme so much, I wasn't sure how the modern version would be, but it's brilliant. Thanks, BBC, for putting your faith in a sequel. Can you help me with the wonderful closing theme by Mark Knopfler? Despite blank stares in all good record stores, I can't find it. Is it available? And if not, why not?
Sad to see the last go out last weekend, and sad news too for Erica, Andrew and Brett, who...
They didn't answer the question. All right. Well, I'm afraid my Mellow Bird has run out, so that'll be today's Mellow Moment. I hope to be back tomorrow with another cup of Mellow Birds and another Mellow Moment. Goodbye, everyone.
There are times when you deserve more than a coffee break, so make a cup of Mellow Birds. You'll find its smooth, mellow flavor turns an ordinary coffee break into a mellow moment. Mellow Birds for mellow moments.
Every day should have some.